Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to Soccer's Overtime, your weekly look inside the San Diego Sockers and the Major Arena Soccer League. Coming to you live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/San Diego Sockers. And today, coming to you live from Three Punk Ales, we are live inside the tasting room here at 3rd Avenue in Chula Vista. Craig Elston, Jerry Jimenez here with you. It's season 4, episode 11. That is true, but it's something more, Jerry. It's episode 100 all time of Soccer's Overtime.
Burr, 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 burr. I still haven't added that to the board.
Okay.
I'm going to get to it.
You have the board right there.
I know, but I know. I'm sorry, man. Listen, I as it was, look, I'm struggling. For those of you that are watching us right now live on Twitch, I totally had my mask still on. Craig.
It's okay.
I can't drink beer like that.
Well, that's a good point. Hey,
wonderful Three Punk
cheers
Ales.
to 100.
Cheers, sir.
Courtesy of Three Punk
Cheers
Ales.
to everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Our
right
proud
now.
sponsors for 3 seasons out of the 4 of Soccer's Overtime. And what better place to be than here in the tasting room? For those concerned, just want to let you know I'm pointing right now at the completely wide open storefront here at the tasting room in Chula Vista. So we have outdoor air right here.
Yes.
The two of us aren't
Nice.
socially distanced, but we're in our own bubble. We're in good shape. It's okay. I feel all right not having the mask here. We're practically outside. We're as much outside as we are inside right now.
I don't mind this at all. And we are overly cautious. I don't think you can be overly cautious, to be fair.
No,
but
not anymore.
But we're as careful as we can possibly be. So, excited to be here with you guys and get to going. You're going to hear the beautiful sights, or you're going to hear the sounds and see the beautiful sights here at Three Punk Ales in Chula Vista. You can already see some people enjoying their beverages there behind us. What a great place this is. If you haven't checked it out, just quick shout out once again to Three Punk Ales. Thank you for sponsoring the show. We couldn't get to 100 without y'all. So thank y'all. You know who else we couldn't get to 100? Actually, we can probably, I don't know if you want to give them a shout out now or later. I'm sorry.
Well, I do. I mean,
totally jumping in.
Because here's the thing. It's 100 episodes. We started this podcast back in 2018.
Yeah.
Recording in what we called a podcast studio, or you could call it a closet or an auxiliary room at the Mighty 1090 at their old studios in Sereno Valley with Nate Abrea and myself. And for the first season and change, Soccer's Overtime was there. It was a podcast recorded in a podcast studio at a radio station. And then that radio station disappeared, ceased operations.
It still exists in our hearts, but yeah.
In a different place, kind of, it exists. As such, then we took the show on the road. And then Nate and I started recording on his patio in North Park or at the Bluefoot Bar and Grill, which is a place we went here and there. And we kind of just floated around. And then we found a home with our sponsor, Three Punk Ales. Simultaneously or shortly thereafter, there was a global pandemic, and the home of the podcast became, here on the computer, which is okay. But it led us, though, to Twitch. And now Jerry and I, of course, Jerry taking over season 3 for Nate. And then here we are, episode 400, episode 11 of season 4, back at 3 Punk. We've done about 5 or 6 live shows here, but this is the first time we've been live at 3 Punk Ales, bringing you the feels from Chula Vista directly from the South Bay to you. As Bobby Cressy's Beyond the South Bay plays, we go from Beyond the South Bay right to all of you worldwide watching on Twitch. So I don't know if we've come a long way. We're still a podcast talking about the San Diego Sockers. I'm still here, but we've at least come a little way to get to where we are today.
No, I'm just excited to be a part of it. When you invited me to come on and join you for this podcast, it was hard to say no. It was a busy time, but I made it work because I understand that those listeners that are on here with us live today and also listening, later on their podcast, their favorite podcast provider, those people really care about the San Diego Sockers, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to add to their daily routines just like you do. It was an opportunity for myself to join in and really start feeling a part of the Sockers, and I think that's where it started for me. And so I'm just grateful to you, sir. So I'm glad to be a part of episode 100. And here's to many, many more. Hopefully we get to do this for a long, long time. As long as everybody here listening and watching live enjoys this, I think we're going to continue to do it.
Yeah, long may our league and our podcast live and thrive. You mentioned Nate Abrea. Nate Abrea was the original co-host of Soccer's Overtime. We invited Nate to come down to 3 Punk today. He couldn't make it. He was tied up, but he was happy to throw us a tiny beso of his own. Here's Nate shouting us out a word from Mr. Abrea.
Oh, man. Soccer's Overtime, episode 100. Would you believe it? I'll tell you what, this show has come a long, long way since its humble beginnings in a dark closet at an AM radio station, to a back room at a beloved local dive bar, to the front room at a beloved local tap house, and now available live on Twitch, all high tech and stuff with fancy Jerry Jimenez cameras to boot. I am humbled to have been a part of it at all. And I want to say thank you and much love to everybody who has supported Soccer's Overtime since those humble beginnings and into the future and on to episode 200 and episode 2000. Long live Soccer's Overtime and long live the San Diego Sockers. Que viva la comunidad transfronteriza y también viva fútbol rápido. Let's go Sox. We'll see you back at the Grand Ole Arena soon. Salud.
How about that? He said transfronteriza. That's like a tongue twister, and the man busted it out of nowhere. Nate.
Cross-border transfronteriza?
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
Yep.
All right.
Oh, God, man. That was awesome. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you, Nate.
I'm bummed he's
Miss
not
you,
here.
brother.
Yeah, I miss him.
But, still on our game day broadcast. We'll see him back January 28th and 30th for Star Wars Night and First Responder Night. Speaking of which, let me set the stage for you here. It's episode 100. Coming up, we've had a live guest every week from the club since we've come out here on Twitch with the live show Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Again, a reminder, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and you're tuning into this on a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, next Tuesday, it's Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's when Soccer's Overtime is live on Twitch. Chance for you to watch the video, chance for you to see our guest live in person, chance for you to see the video highlights we play, see the graphics that we post.
That's when we drop all the tea, Craig.
That's true. It's true. Sometimes we even put things up that we don't even say.
There's some stuff that Craig will throw in there that I'm like, oh my God, can we talk about that? Hey, we can if he says it, so I don't care.
Well, we drop it in the chat.
Oh, yeah, we do that too.
Sometimes we drop it in the chat.
Just saying, join us.
Yeah, twitch.tv/San Diego Sockers. Download the Twitch app on your phone. Subscribe to the San Diego Sockers channel, and you'll get a notification when we go live each week on Soccer's Overtime. So at 5:30, as we speak right now, it's 5:11 on the West Coast. 5:11 on the West Coast here on Soccer's Overtime, Season 4, Episode 11. And coming up at 5:30, Boris Pardo will join us. Boris Pardo off to a spectacular start this season for the San Diego Sockers in net, having started 4 of the 5 matches so far. Boris will be our live guest on Soccer's Overtime coming up at 5:30. We're going to get into Sunday's game, including the injury update that a lot of people in our chat are asking us about. We will have that update for you. We're going to break down the game. We're going to play the highlights. We're going to do that momentarily. We are also going to go through, as we do after the interview, we'll go through the latest Sockers news, the latest Sockers headlines. We'll go through the latest MASL headlines. We'll let you know everything that's going on around the league. We will preview the weekend to come, including reminding you about when Jerry and I will next be on Twitch, which isn't next Tuesday at 5. It'll actually be next this Friday at 7 o'clock.
You're going to say next Friday.
No, not next Friday.
I honestly am not ready, but we're going to try our best.
We're doing it.
There's apparently, I was told today, breaking news, there will be beer and tequila available to me on Friday. So everybody, if you don't tune in to Twitch, I'm telling you, you need to. You need to right now.
So all of that's coming up. All of that's coming up between here and 6:30 on Soccer's Overtime, as it's now 5:12 on the West Coast.
I love when you bring out your radio voice.
So that's my fake radio FM DJ voice right there. 5:12 Jammin' 933.
Oh my gosh.
But first off, and we want to mention it a couple of times, the Sockers come home for 2 home games next Friday and then next Sunday. Friday the 28th, Sunday the 30th. Friday the 28th is Star Wars night. We will have the Sockers in Star Wars Mandalorian-themed kits. All of the Star Wars Mandalorian mercs and the 501st Battalion and all the rest of the great performer groups, the Star Wars live performers out on the concourse. We'll have all the bells and whistles and the sounds and sights. We will have a live jersey auction taking place on Live Source, so you can bid on the jerseys, the game-worn jerseys the players are wearing to benefit San Diego Food Bank. All of that is happening on Friday. It's a huge game against the Tacoma Stars. Utica City comes in Sunday at 5 o'clock. That's a big game, too. And the thing is, we want you to come to both. We really want you to come to both games. Come Friday, come Sunday. And as such, I want to talk about it not once but twice in the show today. We've got the double deal. This is a brand new deal. Sockers have never done this before. It's the double deal. Here. Hey, it's the double deal. Check it out right over there. Okay, the double deal. You buy the ticket to Friday's game.
This is weird.
Should I go back behind?
Sorry. For those of you that are not watching, you're missing out right now. This is weird.
So you buy the ticket to Friday's game. But wait, there's more.
But wait.
You get a free ticket to Sunday's game. So you buy a corner loge or loge ticket, $25, $30 ticket. You get the exact same ticket for Sunday's game. So you're cutting the price in half. You're getting 2 tickets for the price of 1. That's a great deal, the double deal. But wait, there's even more.
What?
When you come to the Sunday game with that free ticket we give you, you will also get a coupon for $10 off at the Sockers merchandise stand on any individual item at the stand.
Craig, does that mean that I can get the new scarf that was just released for $5?
Yes. If it costs $15, ask Ezra. I don't know.
It does. It costs 15.
So
I want to throw that out there. Yeah, it costs.
Could
15.
you get a Vuvuzela for free? Yes, you could. That is absolutely the case. Could you get a Sockers kit for $75 instead of $85?
That's awesome.
A star, a kit. Yes, you could do that.
You went too far though. Come back. Okay, there you are.
Sorry, wait.
Look at this. Yeah, there you are. There you are. You know what? You know what though? If I want a Vuvuzela, you know who I go hang out with?
Gabe.
Shout out to the 7th man.
That's right. So it's an incredible deal. It's the double deal. Check it out. We have a Cheddar Up link. I put it out on our social media feed, so you can click on that, or you can just call 866-799-GOAL, 866-799-GOAL. Ask Spencer for the double deal. And get that double deal, y'all.
I love that.
Double dip on the double deal.
Peekaboo.
We did play a little peekaboo.
Yeah, we did. If you're listening right now, you missed out. That's what I'm telling you. This is why you got to come over. Look, and I'm missing out on our branding. Here we go. Yeah, that's way better.
Thank you. Put that awesome. three Punk Yells logo up. So
like that.
The double deal is exciting. All right, let's get in because we got Boris coming up in about 15 minutes. Let's get into the game.
Let's do it.
The San Diego Sockers, the Ontario Fury, game 3 of the 3-game set. And game 1, Sockers used a big second half to win. Game 2, Sockers used a really bad second half to lose. Game 3, what's going to happen? Look what happens. A defensively dominant performance by the Sockers. They play their best match of the year so far, Jerry. And I'll tell you what, being down at field level, doing the job that you take care of on all the home games, handling the social media, getting that field video, being up close, it can distort your feelings in a game. It really can,
100%.
Because you're so connected to the passion of the field, and it's harder to see the spacing on the field and whatnot. So, I watched this game in person. Like, you can sometimes see me tucked in the corner of these videos. And then I went back and watched the whole thing on film. And I got to tell you, this defensive performance, it aged well. It looked even better on replay than it did live in person.
Been talking about it. We continue to talk about it. You can hear us talk about it all season long, I have a feeling. What a defensive performance we had this game. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, this scoreline is not the same at all.
Correct. Well, it's been Guerrero Pino, it's been Mitchell Cardenas, it's been a team effort to shut down Frank Taillou. And I think game by game, the Sockers started to figure out the different ways that the Fury tried to play off of the situation when Frank is stymied.
Yeah.
And whether, okay, now we figured out a better way to mark Justin Stinson. Now we know we have to keep a closer eye on him. Now we know George DeLeon's the guy who's going to track our George DeLeon or Pacheco. There's certain guys that they kind of figured things out, I think, from game to game to game. And then when you really look back, and as we're replaying the highlights right now on our Twitch channel, we just saw the gorgeous goal by Christian Gutierrez. We'll talk more about this as we go on. But you really look at the two Fury goals in this game. And one goal comes on a very unlucky bounce where Serta is trying to head the ball out of the zone. And it takes a reverse spin off his head, and it goes right back to the Fury player in the crease. The other one's an own goal. And so really, the Fury didn't put together a run of play goal in this game. I mean, that's a really exciting feat.
We saw 2 own goals this game. This was such a tough game. And, kudos to Rojo for holding his own. I mean, obviously, he was very upset. But other than that, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. It was such a feat. That's a great word to use to describe the performance. And again, if you haven't heard that episode or seen that episode with Mitchell Cardenas, go and check that out. I honestly can't wait to also have Guerrero Pino on so that we can ask him these things, because what a crazy performance. And we continue to depend on the defense. But hey, you know what? We've said it, and we'll continue to say it. Defense wins championships. And here you have it again against a team that honestly, very difficult. Very, very. I mean, we cannot understate how difficult it is to keep them off the scoring line or off the board. Yeah. I mean, we kept them to 2.
I mean, Frank Taillou had 9 goals in 3 games, and then he had one before coming to the Sockers, and then he had 1 goal. "Quote unquote," 1 goal in 3 games. That was an own goal where he was not shooting on net. He was crossing the ball from left to right, and it got tangled in Juan Manuel Rojo's legs, and it rolled into his own net. So, basically, Frank Taillou didn't score a goal in 3 games, and that's essentially unheard of in the MASL.
I was actually texting you. I was like, wait, because again, you guys know this. You guys that listen to this and have followed us along know that I'm rather new to indoor, and I texted you and I said, hey, does Frank Taillou gets credit for this goal? That was an own goal. And it's like, yes, he does.
He does.
So he knows he doesn't count that. He does not count that himself. Do you think he counts that?
I mean, he will when it's time to talk to the owner at the end of the
year. he's looking for his bonus. There you go. Okay.
But I do think, though, that the Sockers, and all great respect to Frank Taillou, who undoubtedly Friday in Baltimore will score on William Venzela and get his 400th MASL point.
Yeah.
And finally conclude the race to 400. It's a point of pride for the Sockers. Not that anyone ever said one word about it. I'm sure someone in Fury like, oh, yeah, you guys are probably like, don't let him get 400. No one knew.
No
one knew except for me. That Frank Taillou was one, after that own goal was 1 away from 400. But it is a point of pride in retrospect for the Sockers that the guy came in 3 points away from 400 before a 3-game set and still left short of 400. That's incredible.
Some other team is going to give him the 400.
Right. That won't be the Sockers.
It won't be the Sockers.
We won't be in the video, and I do appreciate that. Now, when you look at what happened offensively for San Diego, obviously, and we've just seen these highlights from the first half, Tavoy Morgan, huge, and the Sockers huge in the first half. Just a dominant performance on both sides of the floor. Pressure, creating turnovers. The Fury unable to get out of their own half, counterattacks happening, and then Morgan finishing long, finishing back post, and finishing a wall of scorer from Charlie Gonzalez. Just incredible indoor target play from Tavoy Morgan.
I feel like we need to make a Tavoy Morgan banner to hang somewhere in the stands, somewhere in section 19 for him, because my goodness, that man, he has earned it already. And we talked about how important he was at the end of the season, bringing him on. I feel like we didn't hype him up on purpose, and now we can start hyping him up. Like the man has performed, and he deserves his spot now in at least this year's Player of the Year nomination. I would already, already going into this, like the man has already performed so much, God, and I love watching how, like, not just how good how happy he is when he performs well too. Like, that guy's face.
He lights things up.
He loves it. By the way, if you're not following social media, go and follow us at San Diego Soccers. Craig did a fantastic job of covering this last game and followed in my lead in playing music during their warm-ups. Loved it.
Thank you.
Doing the twist. I love that.
He was doing the twist. Follow us on Instagram at San Diego Soccers and make sure to check out our stories. We have them all archived game by game, so you can really see what happened behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes. One last note on this, coming into this 3-game series, again, we're not harping on Frank. Frank's one of the best players of all time. That's why you talk about him a lot.
Yep.
Frank Tayu had 9 goals, and Tavoy Morgan had 1. And coming out of the series, Frank Tayu has 10 goals, one of them that he was just passing and it went off someone's leg. And Tavoy Morgan has 8. Really impressive in terms of closing the gap and showing that it's not one dominant forward in this league anymore. Frank gets his goals and he gets his points, but against San Diego, it's a rougher matchup. Guerrero Pino and Mitchell Cardenas are the type of physical defenders that are patient and that understand the moves that Frank has and understands how to stay with a player like him. Not to say that Tayu won't beat them again in the future and won't score on them again in the future, because he absolutely will.
He has 3 more chances.
He sure does, and I'm sure he's salivating for next Wednesday back in Ontario to get a rematch and to do something huge against a tired Soccers team. But this is a matchup that San Diego plans for. This is a matchup that they scheme for, and from a personnel standpoint, finding the right players to handle this matchup. And I really think you got to give a ton of credit to the entire defense, but specifically Pino and Cardenas, who are asked to mark him on that right side of the defense or the left side of the field if you're looking at it from the field side.
100%. I think that everybody in the back for us is doing not just a fantastic job, but a ridiculously fantastic job. As we see here, whose goal was that? Was that also Gutierrez?
Yeah, Christian Gutierrez. And that was one last point, because I know Boris is starting to warm up, and I think I'll save my salty Boris story for as he comes on. But we think back to last week at Pechanga Arena, and the Soccers had a 5-1 lead in the first half in the late second quarter, just like they had in this match against the Ontario Fury.
Yeah.
And what happened was the Fury got a late goal.
What happened was
Fury got a late goal to end the quarter. Same thing happened here, except it was 5-0 to 5-1 instead of 5-1 to 5-2. Then they got a goal early in the third quarter, which is what happened on Sunday. It was an own goal, but nonetheless. And then they got another, and then they got and they started to establish that control of the match. For the first time in the 3-game series between the Soccers and the Fury, the same team won both halves of the match. Now, it wasn't as pronounced. The Soccers won the second half 2-1. But the same team won both halves. And I don't think the Soccers would still say they put together 60 great minutes, but I think they got a lot closer to 45 in this game, and that might be enough. But Christian Gutierrez filling in for Charlie Gonzalez on the power play after Gonzalez went down with a hamstring injury, scores that goal, his second of the game. Huge moment. And for Christian Gutierrez, a guy, it's clear to say, something we talked about in the preseason, Jerry.
Yeah.
His confidence from his success in the postseason has carried over, and it's unlocked Christian Gutierrez. And now he is a dangerous two-way player for the Soccers. He's not just a defensive threat.
So good to see him bring that power that he had in the playoffs into this season. We've been talking about it. You said it. I'll say it. Christian Gutierrez is somebody that we can count on to make those important plays. Honestly, the man is ridiculous. Like, when it comes to important plays, he's gonna be there for whatever reason. It works out that way. And I'm also losing concentration because they're playing Metallica in the background. However, we do have to talk about what everybody has been asking in the comments, sir, which is Charlie Gonzalez.
Charlie Gonzalez took a hamstring injury. Everyone saw it. He pulled up in chase on defense in the late third quarter or early fourth quarter. I believe it was the late third quarter. And had a bag of ice on the bench, did not return to the game. And the preliminary reports that we're getting from the Sockers training staff is we're expecting to miss Charlie for 4 weeks. And, Jerry, you and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
The timing is
not good.
Absolute crap.
Not good
for the San Diego Sockers on this injury, because we just finished the 5-game stretch where it was 1 game a week with 1 week off.
Yeah.
Now the Sockers will play starting Friday 5 games in 10 days. So missing 4 weeks 4 weeks ago meant missing 4 games.
Yeah.
Missing 4 weeks now probably means missing somewhere between 8 and 10 games for Charlie Gonzalez just because of how the schedule lays out. Now, has Paul Savage brought guys back faster than you expected in history? Yes, he's been able to do that. But I think most people who follow sports and especially soccer know hamstrings are one of those injuries that you have to get back all the way. Because if you get it back to 95%, the next time you have to burst off that thing, it's 50-50 to pull on you. It's not till you get to 100% that you can just be back to being a natural bursting athlete, which you need to be in indoor soccer. So it's a rough spot. Right. And as well, I see Gabe mentioned, can we get Lovegrove back? Unfortunately, Dallas has gone 5-1 since this move. I'm afraid Jamie has blocked our number. I was trying to text him congratulations. It came back with skull and crossbones. So I'm kidding about that. Much love to Jamie Lovegrove. But so it is a tough spot. There will be some further machinations involving this Mexico set this weekend that we will discuss on the other side of the interview as we're preparing to get Boris on here in a second. But I saw Keith Vibbert also ask in our chat about Felipe Gonzalez. I will tell you, Felipe Gonzalez was at training today, and participating. Felipe was on the floor.
That's good news.
Yeah,
good
participating. News. So I think he's. Don't quote me on this, but I believe he's probably making the trip to Chihuahua.
I would hope so.
And that's of course good news, because Charlie out, Felipe in. I mean, obviously Charlie is a superior ball handler and creator. Offensive creator, but Felipe is a great defensive player that has the ability to be a two-way player as well. So as it stands, that's where we are. Sockers win 7-2. San Diego now 4-0-1. And in the 3-game set where 9 points were up for grabs, the Sockers got 7 and the Fury got 2.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
Nice.
Very good.
That's nice.
We talked about this off the air very often. We said how important it was for us to take 2 out of 3. Very important.
Yeah.
Especially for this run. We thought we would take it at home. Didn't work out. But we did it at their house. Feels a little bit better.
I think so too.
Hey, let me tell you what. I'm going to let you take care of Mr. Boris Pardo as I go through. What beer are you drinking?
Kill the Pour.
The Pour.
Give me a refill, please.
You meant a refill?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to get a refill as well.
But please make sure first our guest comes on.
Let's welcome him on.
Let's welcome on our special guest this week. He should have been the defender of the week, but who cares? He doesn't care about awards. He cares about one thing, championships, and he's got a ring now. He is the leader in the back. He is our keeper. He is one of our captains. He is Boris Pardo. Boris Pardo on episode 100 of Soccer's Overtime, joining us here as we are live in Chula Vista at 3 Punk Yells. Boris, Craig and Jerry out here. We're here in the dark if you can see us. Welcome to the show.
I'll bring the light up right now. So I'm going to take a break. Boris, I'm going to let him take this one. Sir, I love you and everything, but I have to refill on beer, sir. So I'll talk to you in a bit.
Hey, I got mine too, man. Go get it.
Is that water? What is that?
Iced water ready for the season.
Apple juice. We call it apple juice. It's not vodka. It is not vodka or Blanco Tequila from Califino. It is not. Okay.
Good old H2O.
Sir, welcome to the show.
All right. Jerry's going to go get me a refill and get himself a refill. And that gives me a chance to talk to you a little bit, Boris. Really appreciate you coming on, man. And in just different circumstance, of course, we'd have you here live alongside us for episode 100. But congratulations, first and foremost, on the big win on Sunday. How you feeling now coming out of it a couple days later?
That was good. Thanks for having me on. Congratulations on the 100th episode, man. It's awesome. Yeah, it was great. I mean, overall team effort. It was fantastic to see the guys, just work through things. We knew it was a tough loss, and it was festering a bit. So just really happy that the guys, everybody did well from front to back.
It's funny, Boris. It's one of those things that when I'm watching warm-ups or when our GM, Sean Bowers, is watching you in warm-ups, there's certain things that we key on and that we watch for. And when we find a salty Boris Pardo, a slightly ticked off Boris Pardo, a slightly irritated Boris Pardo, that's when we go, you know what? This might go really well for the San Diego Sockers. And it just so happened on Sunday that they were messing around with your net. They couldn't get things right. They delayed getting the team out of the room. They delayed being able to have people take shots on you and have the Sockers take shots. And I know it was bugging you, but I think you had the last laugh, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That really did tick me off. I was pretty upset. I was like, okay, you had all week to do this. You had plenty of time to fix this up, but now during our side, it just so happens to be our side. So I don't know. Call it. It is what it is. Whether it's gamesmanship or it actually did happen. I mean, you got to just be ready for whatever is thrown your way. And that did tick me off. I took it that way on purpose so it could wind me up a little bit.
I appreciate that. How impressed are you with the way the Sockers were able, game to game to game, to sort of figure out the best way to scheme against Ontario's attack?
Yeah, I mean, we know we got to make sure we eliminate the through pass to Frank. We got to eliminate him from getting the ball or put him in a spot where he's uncomfortable to receive because he's going to receive the ball. So, I mean, the guys in the back, they did so well on playing off each other, blocking shots. I mean, there's so many block shots in that game. It was great. I didn't have to, fall down to the ground as much. All it is just slight adjustments, and the guys came through. So, I mean, yeah, playing them so many times, you really know what to expect. And I think, there's always going to be different tactics involved, and, you take certain risks. So I think we're starting to understand where our strengths lie.
We've talked a lot about Guerrero Pino and Mitchell Cardenas, and obviously they were the guys who were primarily on Frank Taillou the last 3 games. So it makes a sense. They're two great veteran defenders. They're two guys who are absolute keys to the San Diego Sockers. But I kind of wanted to talk about the guys that are rotating on the other side right now, because you have a youngster in Juan Manuel Rojo. You have Luis Pee-wee Ortega, who is back, and you've got Cesar Serra, who is coming back from a hamstring injury and isn't like back to the full 100% Cesar that we know him to be. But when I look at that group and then I combine that with Pino and Mitchell, I feel like you're in pretty good hands overall, Boris.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, the work rate, the quality, the technique. I mean, just everything that the guys bring to the team. Yeah, I mean, having Mitchell, his experience, playing the level he's playing in the MLS. Pino, the same thing. Just playing at high levels, and I've known him since Kansas City, so I've known him for a while. I know he's solid. And then Serra's back. Serra's always been that huge guy getting forward for us out of the back, and it kind of helps Mitchell and Pino just make sure they maintain control of the back and let those guys run up. But yeah, Rojo, I mean, Pee-wee's back. Yeah, all those guys, Felipe, that help out in the back, and yeah, those guys are just tremendous. And I don't know. It's just sometimes I have to work, and some, it's on, or my job is just to be there to help them out and to be in a position where, that's the last straw where they're going to make, and help cover for them.
And along those lines, Boris, one of the things that I'm gifted to have the opportunity to be at your guys' training regularly, and I'll see you working with your defenders on 3v2 drills where you're deliberately outmanned. And one of the things I've seen you say quite often is give me the shot. In other words, let that guy come in on me. I'll take the shot. You make sure that I'm not dealing with some backdoor pass or something that's out of my field of vision. You handle that, I'll handle this guy. And that seemed to be something that played out a couple of different times on the floor on Sunday.
Yeah, that's my job as a goalie. You gotta keep it that we're all man to man in a way. So if we're outnumbered, okay, it's 3v2. And if they play that pass out, or stays man to man, it's a 3v3 essentially. And I just got to keep my feet and buy time until we get guys recovering. So yeah, that's been a huge thing that we've always been working on. And Coach Phil, he's a goalkeeper as well. So we talk about that, and he's a strong believer in that as well. He's like, that pass goes somewhere. Eventually, you got to give. They're going to find that open pass. So how can we force them to be in that position, and then just eliminate any other options? Because most of the teams are going to look for that backdoor pass. So yeah.
One of those old sayings, Boris, is that the best way to figure out how to do something is to do it. And it was the bugaboo for the San Diego Sockers for several years, and coincidental to your time here in San Diego, where the club would have great success on the floor, go 18-3, go 23-1, and get to the playoffs and lose a game before the final, and not have that internal belief, that just kind of deep-seated in your heart belief that you are a championship club, that you are a team that can take it all. And I was curious if you could comment on this, because having watched the first 5 games of 2021-2022 so far, my takeaway is that this is a Sockers team that's learned how to win by winning, and has, by capturing that championship and surviving a mini game, surviving a final minute scramble, surviving 3 game ones on the road where you were an underdog in every single one of those game ones, that now I see that confidence that in a close spot, in a tight quarter, you have not only the talent, coaching, and experience, but now you have the belief that you can win.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that assessment?
100%. I mean, since I got here, it was already a history of championships, but in the MASL, the level has changed. Teams have combined and have gotten stronger. So, the Sockers wanted to get back to where they belong, up, holding the Ron Newman Trophy. So they always made it to the final. We made it to the final. Being a part of that, losing Monterey, getting there to that game, but not getting to the big show. That's like, every single one of these players belong in a championship, and they deserve it. So the hard work going into that, and then, with COVID, and then with all the away games, not being able to play in front of our fans, I mean, that was a lot of motivation, and the losses, because, I mean, you have to learn from your losses. You have to learn from your mistakes. And these guys have grown together over the years to understand and pick out those mistakes, learn from it, and get better and figure it out. So I don't know. I mean, thinking back, you get kind of, I'm getting caught in a few moments. That's my first championship. It was a special season. And those, like, yeah, these guys, they just they came together at the right time. So winning those games in those pressure situations just gives you that extra boost of confidence, that swag, I guess, like what Baltimore had. Baltimore had it for a long time. And those guys, they still play with that, and Milwaukee, like, you got Marcio. That was something that, playing with him, you learn from a guy who's been there multiple times, and just the way he carried himself. Nelly. So yeah, and now these guys, like us, we're all playing as a team, with that in our back pocket, and we know we belong there. But we got to step up still, and we got to show every practice. We can't get complacent. Nothing's changed. It's a new season, and our GM had a great speech before in the preseason. Sean Bowers, he spoke to us. He's like, "Hey, last season, great. It's over now. Everything's new." But we gotta keep that mentality of what it took to get there, and make sure we work on it day in, day out. Yeah.
One thing that I was going to say, Craig, is I think everybody's goal at the end of the season is to do confetti angels the way that Mr. Boris Pardo does. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I want to get back there again.
You look so happy. I wanted to be doing that myself. Instead, I was, taking pictures, and I'm like,
that was good.
Well, no. Shout out to Melissa May who got that video. She was the one that was there in the moment. But I think that's the goal at the end of the day. I just wanted to jump in and remind everybody of that awesomeness that was the confetti angels. Mr. Boris Pardo, that was amazing.
So good. I love it. Just a couple more questions for you, Boris, and we'll let you go. Stretch coming up for this club, and you know it as well as anybody. Thursday, you're on a plane from Tijuana to Chihuahua. Friday night, Saturday night, back-to-back matches at the Corner Sports Arena in Chihuahua. No one's been there. No one's seen it. No one knows what the field's going to look like. You'll be the first guinea pigs out there against a Savage team that's 0-4 and absolutely desperate to win at home. And then there's no time to rest. You won't get back till practically Monday morning. And then you'll have a match Wednesday next week at Ontario, Friday at home against Tacoma Star Wars Night, Sunday at home against Utica First Responders Night. My question to you, after laying that out for the audience, is this: how do you prepare physically for 5 games over the course of 10 days?
Well, we got to hope that, we take care. The guys have to be honest with themselves, and they have to take care of their bodies. They have to listen to their bodies. So if there's a knock here and there, you just got to make sure that our MVP Paul Savage is taking care of you, and you get to Anne-Marie as well. So, you have to listen to your body first and foremost, and then second, just got to make sure that we have our training sessions balanced out where we're not overdoing it. I know we want to keep that mentality of working hard, but we got 5 games in a short amount of time. So we have to ease into it and just do what's necessary, and mentally, guys have to take care of themselves and just think about what's to come. But the travel is going to be difficult. It's getting up in a plane and feeling all that. So yeah, it's going to be tough. We all know what lies ahead. But we trust in Paul. Paul. We're in good hands with him.
Quite literally, good hands. It's strong, powerful.
He gets most of that power from his calves, man.
That's a even more powerful calves.
Say, his calves are crazy. Yeah. The dude is all calves.
Yeah, it's not even a bowling pin turned upside down. Bowling pins aren't that big. You wouldn't be able to knock over bowling pins if they were that wide on the bottom.
He's calves with a head. It's weird.
Man, Paul's the man. He's great.
Head's poking out of the back of his leg. But
I love that.
I'm glad you called him MVP. We'll make sure we clip that so that Paul can have that, and it will be his new ringtone for the road trip. So, Boris, it is always a pleasure chatting with you, my friend. I will see you at training tomorrow at Bradley Park. Stay healthy. I always joke we're going to bubble wrap you in between games. Just keep you in loving caress in between here and the next match to keep you healthy and keep the Sockers on the good foot. So really appreciate your time here on a Tuesday evening.
Thanks, guys. You have a good night.
Good night, sir.
Boris Pardo, live on episode 100.
Hey, move that way. You're like
I'm too close to you now, sir.
Yeah,
I centered up because you weren't there.
Well, yeah, I know that, but now I'm good.
Okay.
I was gonna say shout out real quick to the one and only Mr. Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier Snare Williams. He's now an MASL pro.
Listen, we gotta say this. Boris Pardo did such a fantastic job that Xavier got a chance to come in.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. That's really what it was. Right?
Also, Boris called a timeout with like a minute 15 left in the game.
Okay.
To get Xavier in.
Oh.
I'm not mad at that.
No, not at all.
Jimmy Nordberg might have been.
Sorry, Jimmy.
But you know what? Get Xavier in the game. And then Kid played a little in Sockers too. You never know. We were at 547 on the West Coast here. Sockers overtime. But
wow.
So I didn't want to keep him too much longer. But it's one of those things. We talked about it. Boris won Goalkeeper of the Year in 2018-19, essentially playing with no backup. No disrespect to Jesus Chuy Molina, but Chuy played one half of one game for the Sockers the entire year.
Yeah.
And it was a game in Turlock that Boris started, and the Sockers were up 5-6-0 or something, and they rolled him out of there.
Yeah.
So really, Boris started 24 games that year and started every playoff game. And that's the game plan for the Sockers this year.
Yeah.
That's essentially the game plan. Now, if San Diego had cinched a top seed with a game or two to go and they could get Xavier in there for a game, or if they can get him in there for longer than a minute, I mean,
Why not?
obviously they will.
Yep.
But we're talking about a 22-year-old kid who's trained in beach soccer, and those were his first minute 15 of live, hot pro action. So, you know, it's a big key to this team upright and keeping him happy and healthy and hearty.
Well, and Xavier is also going to be a very big part, I think, of the M2 squad. So make sure, honestly, now we'll take a quick break to say, go and check out the Sockers too. We did lose against Fury recently. However, if you go and watch the games at home, these guys love having fans in the stands. And we love having fans in the stands. So make sure that you keep up to date with the M2 games, because typically at a home game, you're going to be able to watch an M2 game beforehand. There's some benefits to it. Craig, we've talked about it before on this podcast.
Yep.
M2 games are so much fun. Honestly, it is a blast. Goals scored right and left. And, you know, the Fury, unfortunately, did beat M2. We need to talk about that.
Yeah, 7-4.
In Ontario.
Yeah, at a sports complex, not at Toyota Arena.
At YMCA.
Yeah, it was a smaller field. It was a smaller field.
Yeah.
You know, no diss on that. And credit to the Fury, and the Sockers too were without a couple of their key players. Of course, Sean Callahan was called up, and Ishmael Rojo was not playing. More on that in just a second.
Okay.
So no disrespect. And, you know, Gabe, who was watching, said in our chat, X had a tough second half of that match. And that was the report I got too, that he had a tough second half. Well, hey, you know what? Great.
Good. Test him.
Yeah. Go have tough second halves.
This is why he's an M2.
Right. At Sockers too, so that you get that out of your system. And then you have a great half at Sockers too. And then you build that confidence so that when Sockers 1 needs it to come, you will. And you can follow, of course, everything, sdsoccers.com/Sockers2.
/Sockers2.
Thanks to JG in the chat,
Mr. Green,
for bringing that.
the man, the myth, the legend.
All right, let's get into some Sockers news now, 50 minutes into the podcast. And we thank Boris Pardo again.
Yeah.
I feel so live radio when I do this. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Just do it.
I
when
dip
we're live
back
like this.
into my Generation X radio habits. Got the mic here.
I'm new at this, so this is fun for me.
Live traffic on the 10s here on Sockers
now
Overtime.
we
Let's
go
take a
over
look
to-
at 3rd Avenue. 3rd Avenue looking very clear right now here in
Clear.
Chula Vista. Plenty of ample parking available.
Plenty of space here at 3 Punks. Still, come hang out.
Come on down. All right, Sockers news. Goal and assist for Captain Fantastic, Craig Childs,
Golly, man, that
on
man.
Sunday. And that means the number is 593.
Woo!
593. I want to make this clear, all right? The MASL is doing their race to 400. And I'm all for it. I'm a big MASL supporter, and I believe in the race to 400 because those are MASL points.
No, you're not, Craig. Shut up.
Those are MASL points.
Okay.
And
It's true.
all credit to Frank, who had a 73-goal game in the MASL down at the mini field in Sonora, you know, a few years ago. And he's 1 point from 400. Craig Childs has about 316 points in the MASL. But Craig was playing before that. And while the league may not recognize PASL totals, that's fine. That's the league. We are the club.
We can recognize it.
We recognize what our club does. And we recognize our PASL championships. We recognize our PASL games and the records therein. And Craig Childs is at 593 points going into the next 3 matches of the road trip. So if he stays on his current kind of 2 points a game pace,
Yes.
and he got 2 in Chihuahua, 595, and then he got 2 in Chihuahua again, 597, and then he got 2 in Ontario, 599. We could be looking at number 600 at home Friday, Star Wars night, January 28th.
K. Vibber. Just throwing that out there for you. It is totally a possibility. We talked about this. We said we could be coming home to him doing 600 points at home on Star Wars night against Tacoma Stars. Absolutely possible. As a matter of fact, it's against Tacoma Stars. So if we don't do any points out on the road and we come home, he might still get the 6. Sorry, Tacoma Stars. Sorry. Somebody said
I'm feeling
earlier,
good to see it at home. I'm feeling good to see it at home.
Somebody said, did you do that on purpose to make Tacoma's Stars game a Star Wars night? I think it just landed that way.
It did just land that way. However, it doesn't hurt. Like, it's not a disqualifier. You see, Star Wars night. Okay, that's cool. that works for me.
Yeah. So come to Star Wars night and watch Craig Childs possibly lightsaber the crap out of the Tacoma Stars.
Oh, Danny does not want to be in that highlight film, but he just might. Shout out to the great Danny Waltman.
Oh, man.
So that's the race to 600. We're at 593. And if things play out exactly right, it'll happen at home, either on the 28th or the 30th.
Let's go.
However, if it happens on the road, that means that Craig had a super big and productive road trip. And I'm not going to yell at that.
No, absolutely. Please get it beforehand.
Yeah, get it in Chihuahua.
I don't think anybody here listening minds.
Get it Friday. Get 5 goals and 2 assists Friday.
Unless we have Tacoma Star fans or somebody else. Chihuahua or Ontario.
I mean, we'll be going crazy at Calafino if he gets 600 on Friday or Saturday night. But that's where he is, 7 points away. Things are timing out extremely well.
Nice.
We talked about it right before Boris Pardo came on. Charlie Gonzalez is out for probably a month, and we just have to steel ourselves to that as a San Diego Sockers fan in the front office, the club. Everyone needs to prepare for coping without Charlie. How will the club cope without Charlie? Well, I think San Diego's got a few options to cope without Charlie. They'll have a short-term replacement that we'll talk about in just a minute for a couple of games. But I think you'll be looking at one of 3 defenders to come up into the midfield and to play a more offensive role. And any one of these 3 guys is capable. Felipe Gonzalez has been a midfielder for the majority of his career. Yeah. He's only been playing in the back because the Sockers have had a need in the back. But San Diego's very, knock wood, there's wood available. They are very strong right now in the back. So Felipe Gonzalez could come back to midfield where, again, he's not quite the playmaker who is. Charlie Gonzalez is one of the best playmakers in the league, but he's a very solid player who can fit in there. Luis P. Ortega is the player that in the heat of the moment on Sunday did move up to the midfield for San Diego and came out of the defensive rotation and moved up into Charlie Gonzalez's midfield spot. He's got plenty of experience at midfield. Pee-wee's still getting his legs under him. I think he's got more defenders' legs than midfielders' legs right now. Yeah. Because obviously the midfielder has to cover the most ground of anybody on the floor, but absolutely has the shot, has the passing ability, would be a great defensive midfielder. It's easy to say. So that's also an option. And then the third option I have to talk about is Cesar Cerda, just coming up and being a more offensive factor in the game. He's really been laying back these first 2 games back from his hamstring injury, but Cesar is a guy who's been a point-a-game player offensively from the back. So I feel like he was a guy who stepped into free kicks and power play when Charlie got hurt, and I think those are where he might get some points the next few games.
As we're looking at this squad, I think that is a very good problem to have. Our depth is fantastic, right? And you're looking to fill in some gaps when it comes to injuries. I think that we can do that. Absolutely. You just named quite a few different possibilities. So could there be more possibilities of different changes moving in and out? I think one of the advantages of MASL is that it is open to that type of a thing. And so we can see some crazy things possibly happening in the future. We never know. The good thing is that our depth right now, I think, for the Sockers is solid. So not to worry, my friends that are listening. I think we'll be in good shape. I think we'll be good. I'm trying to be positive, Craig.
Yeah. Let's move to another difficult, somewhat sensitive discussion topic, but one that's very important to broach.
I don't like these.
There was when I was growing up and the Olympics were playing, they would have every commercial break a commercial for Visa, and it would say, you can come to Sarajevo for the Olympics. But you better bring your Visa because they won't take MasterCard.
Oh, damn.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. For the MASL, visas, not everywhere you want them to be.
Nope.
The Sockers did last week receive news on their appeal of Iram Pollo Ruiz's P1 visa, which had been denied, and it didn't work out the way the Sockers wanted it. And for Ishmael Rojo, they're stuck in the same spot they were before. There's no official, turning down again, but he's still in the same bad spot he was before. That is definitely not good news for the San Diego Sockers, for their fans, or quite frankly, for the MASL. There's only one place Iram Pollo Ruiz can play in the MASL in 2021-2022. It does happen to be the place where the Sockers are going for their next 2 games. So
tell me more.
Expect to see Iram Pollo Ruiz and Ishmael Rojo in the Sockers 1 lineup this weekend. Expect them this weekend.
Burr, 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 burr. And get that sound in here.
And only this weekend. And only this weekend.
Yeah, we have to. Oh, man.
But this weekend, yes. This weekend, Pollo, Big Rojo. Next weekend, no Pollo, no Big Rojo. All the other weekends, no Pollo, no Big Rojo. Unless the Sockers were to come back to Mexico. Now, you have learned, if you're a Sockers fan, during the course of this season already, the Sockers are a family-first organization, okay?
Yes.
So once the Sockers play in Chihuahua, and they won't be going back there again, they're not. These are their 2 games in Chihuahua, unless they meet in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't be surprised if the Sockers give Iram Pollo Ruiz an opportunity via loan to make money in Mexico playing in Chihuahua.
Okay.
Don't be surprised. It's not official, okay? But my understanding is that's likely.
A conversation.
That's a likely thing that could happen. And it would not be trading or releasing the rights to our beloved chicken, okay? No. He's still a Socker. We're still trying to get this right. But that's a likely scenario. And it's been 2 years, so it does bear repeating. The Sockers have a couple of players that their visa situation is such that they can't go to Mexico. They can play in the U.S.
This is ridiculous.
But they can't go to Mexico. So,
Craig, I already lost 1 pollo that I liked over the weekend. And he killed it, by the way.
Yeah.
Killed it, that other pollo.
Pollo Cortez, who's now St. Louis's keeper.
Golly.
Just won Defender of the Week.
It's about time the Ambushes gets his act together. But Pollo had a lot to do over there. Cortez had a lot to do over there. I can't handle losing another pollo. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's not gone forever, and he will be back this weekend. And then, love the one you're with, as the old song went.
I'm just happy I get to
cherish these moments.
I get to call a couple of games with Pollo Ruiz, hopefully in the lineup. That's the goal.
Let's get some Pollo Golazos down in Chihuahua. We are hoping for that, but that is the situation.
I have the Pollo. Oh no, I'm doing colors. You're calling the goals. Dang it.
So it's tough, but it is what it is. That's the situation.
Yeah.
The Sockers will be without a couple of key players in Mexico, but they will have Pollo and Big Rojo. We'll talk more about that when we convene on Twitch on Friday, or maybe I'll just put it in the chat because I like to spill tea in the chat, as you know.
Let's do that. So as you're listening to us, if we're in your ear, this is why you join in on Tuesdays, 5 p.m., because you're going to find out what is going to be happening before anybody else.
Yep.
Okay? This is one of those things. You get a priority. You get a benefit. For all of you that are right now live, you're going to get an update to what is going on. And nobody else gets to see this and it is not good news, but it is what it is. Here's the thing: the Sockers somehow make things happen. Okay, do not worry. Do not worry.
Correct.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
Hey,
this
let's
weekend.
find out. Let's find out.
You know what? We've been talking about, we faced against Chihuahua once already, and we're going to see them again twice in a row, 2 days in a row.
Yep.
One of the very important things that you asked Boris Pardo was, how do you prepare for something like that? And we're going to see it. We're going to see how prepared they are. We're going to see how well our boys are. And, hey, if you want to win championships, you have to be prepared for these types of things, these types of situations. It is what it is.
Last thing, I'll end on a brighter note for Soccer's news. Well, two things. A reminder, the Soccer's next two matches are in Mexico. Soccer's at Chihuahua, Friday, 7 p.m., Saturday, 6 p.m., San Diego time. Jerry and I will be right here on our Twitch channel.
Not at Three Punks.
Not at Three Punk. We will be in another drinking establishment.
Califino.
We will be at the Califino Sublimit Lounge up in Carlsbad.
I hope they're ready for us.
And we will be announcing the game off the big screen at Califino for you in English, so that instead of having to go through the Spanish language broadcast, you can have Jerry and I right here with you calling the game in English for you. So we're very excited for this. Friday at 7, Saturday at 6. I want to say right here to our audience, right here and right now, this will be Chihuahua's first ever game and broadcast. And we are completely at their mercy.
Yep.
Okay. So whatever feed they provide, that's the feed we can announce. And if it's a barcode, then we're not in great shape. And if it's the game, then we're in great shape. And we don't know. And I've asked the league, and I'm like, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do? And, they're very confident that things are going to work and that Chihuahua is ready. And so I'm going to go with that until proven otherwise. But my experience in the MASL and my experience doing broadcasts from Mexico or in anything involving, a broadcast that originates from Mexico is that sometimes the broadband isn't what you like. Sometimes the feed drops. Sometimes there's issues and inconsistencies. So all I'm going to say is hang with us, but come to us. Come to us Friday. Come to us Saturday. Come right here. Tell all your friends. Make sure if you're, all you folks in the chat, to get into the YouTube chat and tell everyone to come over.
Yes.
And to enjoy the English broadcast over here on Twitch on the San Diego Soccer's Twitch feed. So that's the situation coming up this weekend. Last thing, next Friday, Star Wars night. For the first time, we will have available for sale Star Wars replica jerseys.
Yes.
And T-shirt replicas as well. Okay, so yes, we're going to have the game-worn player jerseys available for auction on LiveSource to be autographed, washed, dried, autographed, given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And those are precious because not only are they game-worn, not only are they autographed player jerseys, but they benefit San Diego Food Bank. But in addition to that, or if you don't get the kit you want, you can go to the merchandise stand on Sunday, $85, get the same, just unnumbered, unlettered, San Diego Star Wars Night jersey that the players are wearing. Or you can get, if you're wanting something a little lower price option, little value class, a $30 T-shirt that has the same Mandalorian Baby Yoda design, art design that we have in the front of the kit, and has the Soccer's crest as well, a black T-shirt. And that's available in youth sizes as well as from extra small to XXX. Keith Vibbert asking, where is the jersey reveal? You think I'm going to do that the week before?
Can we do it the 25th?
Keith, we're going to do it on next week's podcast.
Next Tuesday, the 25th.
Yeah, next week. That's when we're going to do it. We're going to do it next week.
That's what I was thinking, too. I was looking at the calendar, and I pulled it up right here. I was like,
next week.
I was going to ask you, hey, Craig, can we reveal the jersey on the 25th?
That's 101, baby. That's episode 101.
That's how you do it.
Is the reveal. Come on, man. I'm a veteran at this thing. I'm not going to do everything let's do everything for the whole season right now.
What do you think we are, amateurs?
Come on. Let's go,
Come
Keith.
on.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Have Paul Savage Facebook Live? Oh,
Keith asked, "What about the beer? The beer's right here, man. What do you want? Right there. Cerveza Familia
yo, God.
y Olga.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out
Shout out to our friends.
to our friends. You know who you are.
You know,
You know who you are.
Chavos. You know who you are. Okay, couple league notes. We've still got a little time. I told you, you thought that this show was going to be over.
Oh, the custom brew. The person that we can talk to about that is not here today.
He's in protocol.
He's in protocol. Jerk.
So stay tuned.
He did that on purpose.
I'm planning on golfing with him maybe as soon as Friday. So we're continuing the work.
Oh, hey,
We're
look.
continuing the work.
Hey, JG, coming in with the news.
We didn't talk about this last week.
No, let's throw
The
this up
Sockers
right
have been working with Pechanga Arena San Diego. $2 Bud Light Friday night for Star Wars night. So, Star Wars jerseys, Star Wars cosplayers all over the place, on the field, on the concourse, on your Jumbotron. Everything is Star Wars down. Star Wars kits for the first time ever available for sale at our merchandise stand during Star Wars night, along with t-shirts, the jersey auction to benefit San Diego Food Bank. And on top of all of that, a $2 Bud Light Friday night at Pechanga Arena San Diego. And it's the first of several. We're going to 5 or 6 more Bud Light, $2 Bud Light nights for the San Diego Sockers going forward. And let's one more time tell you about the double deal. Am I there? The double deal. Let me tell you about the double deal, okay? Can I tell you about the double deal?
This is terrible. You're not.
Kevin,
You're actually
come
cut
over
out.
here. We've got
Hold
to
on.
hang
Yeah,
on.
look.
Steve's on quarantine until Friday.
I know. Steve's there's my man Kevin.
Say hi, Kevin. What's up, Kevin? Hey, but you're representing now. This is
But
what
I'm
you
not
got.
Steve.
This is live. It doesn't matter.
I
You
know. What's going
honestly, you do way more work than Steve does around here. Let's just
on?
be
Well, I mean,
honest.
Wait, Steve's going to hear this.
He's
yes,
not.
I do.
He doesn't listen to this. He doesn't care about us.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, Kevin, I'm glad you came over here though, real quick, because this is our 100th episode, but this is our third season.
Yeah.
With Three
That's why we're
Punk
here.
Ales as a sponsor. You know, and we're so proud to have your logo up on our screen almost all the time. Where's the logo, Jerry? Where's the
shoot.
logo?
Hold on. I'm sorry.
To have your logo on our screen. There it
Look
is.
at that.
All the time.
It's right there.
And to have you guys, to talk
Look,
about you guys
there
all
we
the
go.
time, to come down here,
Right
every month. We're so appreciative for what you do for the culture, for San Diego, and for soccer.
Oh, thank you. No, this is what we're here for. We love the Sockers. We love you guys. I'm not a Man U fan. Don't tell anyone, but
Oh,
soccer.
Steve.
I said it.
Oh,
I said
that's worse than talking shit about Steve. If you say you don't like the, that's fine though. It is what it is.
No, but it's not like I'm a Man City fan or Liverpool
Okay,
or
that's
whatever
fair.
those other.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. But
I
this
play
man
soccer.
right here,
I don't-
just so everybody knows, if you're drinking beer from Three Punks,
I made it.
he made it.
This beer might have been in
if you find a hair, he said, if you find a hair in your beard,
Steve's. Yeah.
Exactly.
I kept seeing the thing. I was like, what are they doing? But yeah.
Yeah, that's it, brother. Thank you for
yeah,
coming over,
no,
man.
We
Appreciate you.
We're bummed out that Steve couldn't be here because we're gonna bug him because we're trying to get him to do a soccer's beer eventually. I think we'll
Yeah,
get there.
we do
We
want it.
just did. We brewed the Ronaldo the Red today. Brewing it tomorrow. A
Hey,
couple weeks it'll go in a bourbon barrel from Liberty Calls, so it should be done mid-February.
there you go. Shout out to everybody that has a beer except for us.
Fans.
No, the Ronaldo beer is fantastic, and also you guys do Golge for our friends at Unnamed Soccer Podcast.
Correct.
We
So
have 8 more cases of that left. We'll have to brew it again, but
there you go.
So once you're done with the Ronaldo Red, then we can lean on you again to get the Sockers.
Well, no, they need to
Are we
worry
going to
about.
do the 15% triple IPA? Is that what we want to do
Hold
for
on, no,
15
no.
championships?
Shout
or-
out also because, and I'm
This is
glad
another
he
beer
can.
Steve hasn't told me about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Put it on the list.
Beasto coming out also from Food's Gone Wild
yeah,
collaboration.
we
You
can't
have
do
to
that
check that
all.
out. The 28th,
29th. Saturday
29th.
29th.
29th. So there you go. Are we doing a release? Do we? Okay, I don't know if that's actually information that's come out
Good
yet.
question.
Place in LA and a place in San Diego.
Oh, there you go. So you're
Guess
getting
the
it here
place
first.
in San Diego will be released.
So you're getting it here first.
Here?
But we don't know. We're not sure. We'll find out.
I'm just guessing. I'm only
We're just-
guessing.
limited release. But
Very
we'll
limited.
also have it on draft.
Oh, that's awesome.
Another great reason to come down to
Yes.
this tasting room right
Sure.
here.
You're the man.
Kevin, appreciate you,
You are
brother.
the man.
Thank you so much. No,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that was awesome. That is the man, the myth, the legend that actually brews everyone else.
Incredible.
We talk about Steve all the time, and look, Steve Garcia is a gentleman, a scholar, and I love the man. But he doesn't actually make the beer.
No, Kevin
makes the beer.
Kevin makes the beer.
Kevin makes the beer.
Sometimes he pours the beer too. He's poured several for me, and I love that man.
Oh,
Let's talk really quickly about the double deal one more
There you go.
time as we transition into some league
so he
news.
jumped in when the flyer was there.
It's okay. He jumped in on the league news because we're doing this. We're doing our peekaboo again. We want you to be at both matches next weekend, Friday and Sunday, when the Sockers take on Tacoma Friday and Utica City on Sunday. So join us for the double deal. This is all you have to do.
Somebody screen cap this because I want to put this on my profile.
And we have a Cheddar Up link. You can go to our social media. I'm pointing in the social media.
Put it the wrong way.
I'm putting that link up at San Diego Sockers on Twitter, on Instagram. But here's the deal. You can also just call 866-799-GOAL or email Spencer, SISHII at stsockers.com. Oh, my God. Just do the link or call 866-799-GOAL. Here's the deal again. You buy one ticket, okay? Corner Loge, 25, Loge, 30, the good tickets in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You buy one ticket
He said Loge.
to Friday's game. You get the same ticket for free to Sunday's game. But wait, there's more. We want you to use that. We're not just giving you a ticket to Sunday's game. We want you to come back. We want you to use that bad boy. And when you do, you'll get, with that free ticket, you'll receive a coupon good only for Sunday, January 30th, which is $10 credit at the merch store for any individual item. So you want $10 off a jersey, you want $10 off a t-shirt, a hat, a beanie, anything, a scarf, $10. You want an $8 item, a squishy ball of Vuvuzela, you got it for free. No cash back, okay? Don't try and game the system out there. I'm feeling you.
Somebody's going to be like, can I get $2
I'm feeling
back?
you game the system,
Here's
exactly.
$10.
I would like one fountain pen and $9 back, please.
Nope, not going to happen.
Not going to happen. All in quarters, please. I'm doing the laundry. No.
They end up getting themselves, what is that, 4 Bud Lights?
Yeah.
No, you don't get to do that.
Yeah, nor, by the way, can you as a family of 5 come in and then have dad go, Junior, you're not getting squat. I'm putting all $50 toward one jersey. No. If you have 5 coupons, that's a jersey, a t-shirt, a hat, a squishy ball, a vuvuzela. You know what I'm saying? It's 5 on coupon for item. One coupon, one item. Okay?
Thanks for letting me know I was going to bring my kids.
I just wanted to head that off at the
Never mind.
pass. 1883, got to head that off at the pass. So just wanted to put that out there. But it's an incredible deal. It's the double deal. Take advantage of it. stsockers.com/tickets, but go 866-799-GOAL. Email Spencer. Let's do that thing. Let's do this. Let's get everybody out there to both games. So excited for this. Quickly to league news. We always wrap up with league news.
League news.
League news.
We need to get some musicians up in here so we can get some little jingles for like league news.
Yeah. MASL news. No, that's not good enough. MASL news. The news you can use. 16 after the hour and Soccer's overtime. It is time for the news you can use. MASL news.
I love that.
No blues when there's MASL news.
All right.
The race to 400 will be resolved this weekend.
Absolutely.
Frank Tayu, 1 point away, going to Baltimore. Kansas City has a home game against the Stars. We'll talk about that more just in a second because it's a special game. And Leo is 4 away at 396. One of these guys is crossing the finish line, and I predict it's Frank, like in the first quarter in Baltimore.
I would agree with you. I mean, he's only 1 away.
Yeah.
Gibson has a couple of things he has to get done first. But look at that, K. Vibbard. Can Williams shut out the King?
I mean, maybe.
He can shut out the King, but can he shut out everybody who the King passes to? That's also going to go into play. So
stay tuned. Stay tuned for that.
I
Ouch.
can't we post that? Oh man.
Don't post that.
Okay, I
That's
won't
terrible.
post that. Sorry, King. I don't know if you can see these comments.
Listen, I don't know if you saw MASL had a post on Twitter talking about how the race had shortened, and I did post a bit of a meme. On that.
I don't know who saw that, but
it was well. I know Frank saw it because he retweeted it.
Go and check that out on Twitter.
At the very least, Frank saw it because we can go to his feed.
We should have had that image up here too. Actually, so we could show everybody.
I don't know if you can do that.
I don't think we can.
Around the league last weekend, a ton of results. Chihuahua lost twice. Milwaukee got their first win of the year. It was 7-5. I think it was more of a blowout, and Chihuahua came back to make the score a little bit more even.
It's classes. Sorry.
Then Sunday, Chihuahua went to St. Louis, and it really looked for a while like they were going to win. That was a back and forth game, but St. Louis pulled it away 10-7. So Chihuahua is 0-4, and I did see earlier in the chat somebody asking, does Chihuahua have a different roster home and road? Probably.
Yep.
We've never seen them at home, so I feel like there's still surprises waiting for us this weekend. They might be, for us, nasty surprises, but I feel like there are still surprises. I'm not sure if guys like Aragon Ponce can cross the border, or how many guys are in visa hell for Chihuahua, but I know that they're going to be a different team at home than they are on the road for sure. So I take that 0-4 and I use it with a big grain of salt.
Real quick, K. Bibbard on the comments says, shout out to Philly for giving CUU the Chihuahua Savage credit for the win on Sunday.
He took advantage of a partial score.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. They did not win. That's a bummer.
They did in fact lose. Sidekicks.
Hey, first and second place according to the Ontario Fury. Broadcasters are Ontario and Chihuahua Savage. Who's in first place right now? I'm just saying.
We've got 7 and 9 points in the series so far.
I love you, Philly and Jonathan and Panda. Panda more than the other two fools, but
Panda, we love you. Hope you win NFL Fan of the Year.
I hope we
But you other guys.
You other guys. I know they're listening.
I don't know about you guys.
We love our family over at Ontario. They're awesome.
We do.
We also hope they always lose against us.
We keyed.
We love you.
We only root against you every game. Sidekicks. What about the sidekicks? The sidekicks went 0-3, 11 goals for, 22 against. They fired Pablo. They hired Ricardinho, who had been a player for them for years, into his 40s, and had retired. They got Jamie Lovegrove from us for nothing.
Damn it. He's killing it over there. What the heck?
Yeah, turns out the sidekicks are good now. They are 5-1 under Ricardinho. They are 5-4 overall. They are in the top wild card position currently in the MASL, the 4 seed, where they'd host a playoff, game 2 in the first round. And last weekend, playing at home, they beat Milwaukee 5-4, and you went, holy crap! They beat Milwaukee 5-4, and they beat the Blast. Or pardon me, it was the Blast 5-4 and Milwaukee 7-6. But
7-6.
If there's two teams that you thought for sure would go into Dallas, pop their balloon, bring them right back to earth, and reestablish that the Sidekicks would finish last in the Central, it's Baltimore followed by Milwaukee, and Baltimore goes in and loses and then goes home and wins. Milwaukee wins at home, goes to Dallas and loses. What are we to make of the Sidekicks now?
Can I just give a quick shout out to Gamboa? Because golly, the man, the myth, the legend. I want to have a dad bod and be able to save as many goals as he has saved. Listen, Gamboa is amazing. He has saved the Sidekicks quite a bit, but we also have to give credit where credit is due. The team looks like a completely different team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mind-blowing. Honestly, I don't have the words to put together. Sidekicks are killing it right now, and I'm excited to see that. We said the Sidekicks would be a different team. Apparently, we had it wrong under what coach it was going to happen.
Yeah, entirely different. Yeah, what were you guys doing hiring Pablo? What's going on?
What is wrong with you?
Why did this go so horribly wrong?
Oh my goodness.
Blows my mind. But 5-1 now, and I mean, just out of nowhere, a player in the league, and Dallas being a player in the league means one of these teams that you expected to be a playoff team is not going to be a playoff team. If it's Utica, if it's Milwaukee, the Harrisburg hasn't won a game yet. Chihuahua, these are teams that thought they would be playoff teams, and
the Heat.
Yeah,
that's right.
Wow, Heat over. Rough. Kansas City took their first loss of the year. They lost a game in St. Louis. Did come back, beat Tacoma on the road. Tacoma made it close at the end of the game, but really it wasn't that close. It was 8-4 going into the fourth quarter. I still have the Comets right there. I mean, right now it's pretty clear. It's the Comets, it's the Tropics, it's the Sockers. So those are the three best teams in the league. I think there's at least a small between those three and the rest of the league.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do power rankings, but if we were to do power rankings, those three would be up there. If you want to see power rankings that don't matter because they're put together by fans, go over to In the Box or to MSL Off the Wall. No, those Facebook pages, shout out to you guys. I have a lot of fun over there. I'm trying to be a little bit more active. So if you guys don't know, there is a community that is built around MASL that is awesome. MASL is going to MASL, Craig.
They always will. The MASL definitely will MASL. We mentioned it or alluded to it earlier. There's the National Soccer Coaches Convention this weekend in Kansas City, and it's an annual thing, and it's a gigantic convention. It's a national convention, brings people from every corner of the country of the outdoor soccer world. The indoor game has been disconnected from the NSCC for a few years, but no longer. The MASL has a presence at the convention in Kansas City. On Thursday, the opening day of the convention, they're going to have a symposium or a forum or whatnot with Keith Tozer and JP Dellacamera and Shep Messing. They'll have a booth at the convention the entire weekend, and the Comets will be hosting the Stars on Saturday at the T-Mobile Center in downtown Kansas City. Now, you might ask, and it'd be fair to ask, well, what's the T-Mobile Center? It's the gigantic 18,000-seat NBA NHL arena that was built in Kansas City in anticipation of a team that never moved there or has yet to move there. And so it hosts like college basketball tournaments or the Final Four stuff, things like that. But it's a gigantic state-of-the-art NBA NHL style arena, and it will host MASL action on Saturday when Kansas City takes on Tacoma. So I really do invite everyone to support that game on MASL TV, on YouTube, and they're expecting a big crowd because it's tied to the Soccer Coaches Convention. Should be a great showcase for our league.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in. We definitely will be tuning into that. A lot of hype going around the league right now, and this is one of those games you're going to want to watch because this is a rivalry. It has been a rivalry for a long, long time. It's going to be a game that I don't know, man. Who are you thinking is going to take it? I have comments on this one. I'm sorry, but
I got Kansas City. Yeah, I got KC.
Okay,
but I do think Danny Waltman will put on some sort of a show because Danny Waltman in Kansas City,
he does.
It's history.
That's what he does.
It's where he played so much of his career and was so great and won a championship. So I expect Danny to be top form. I think that's why Tacoma got the call to come in on this game is for Danny. And I think it'll be a good game. I mean, look, Nick Pereira, he's having a good year. He's having another really good offensive year. I'm not going to put him to the top of the list because he got 9 points against a road-weary, half-there St. Louis team where they were up 11-1. That's the old school league where there's some blowout result that allows a guy to get a bunch of stats. I'm not looking at that. Nick's a great player.
Don't underestimate the Stars, I would say.
But I'll take Kansas City in that game.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take Kansas City in that game.
Me too.
Last couple things. Let's wrap things up tonight with a reminder. The Sockers are on the road this weekend in Mexico. Games 2 and 3 of the 4-match road trip. Friday, 7 p.m. local time. Saturday, 6 p.m. local time from the Corner Sports Arena, a mysterious place none of us have ever seen. Jerry and I, presuming that the Chihuahua broadcast is hail, hearty, and ready to go.
Let's go.
We'll be right here with you on our Twitch channel. Go to Twitch download the Twitch app, subscribe to the San Diego Soccers channel, and or if you're on a laptop, go to twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers. If you're watching at home on a Roku, you can download Twitch on Roku, and you can watch us there on your big screen on Roku. So if you want to watch the Spanish language broadcast, do it. Go for it.
Do it.
Do it. Give me a drink. Do it. Starsky and Hutch. That's an old
movie.
that's an old reference. Ben Stiller is Starsky and Hutch. Give me a drink.
Keep it going, Craig. I gotta pee. I gotta pee really bad.
So that's coming Friday and Saturday right here on Twitch. We don't know what to expect from Chihuahua. We don't know if the broadcast is going to be 100% or 50%. We don't know if their roster is going to be 100% or 50%. We do know the Soccers will be without a couple guys, and that they'll have Pollo and they'll have Big Rojo, and that you'll have us right here on Twitch.tv. That brings an end 1 minute early because Jerry has to pee. To our 100th episode of Soccers Overtime and episode 11 of season 4 of Soccers Overtime. Special thanks to our great friends at Three Punk Ales for being our hosts here tonight, including Kevin coming over, of course, including Steve-O, who we hope is hail hearty and ready to go as we see him down the road. We will see you right here on this same channel Friday night at 7 o'clock. We'll be back, of course, next Tuesday at 5 p.m. with another live recording of Soccers Overtime, and we hope to see you in the chat and on our screens then. Until then, Jerry, thanks so much, buddy.
This is the best. Episode 100. Thank you for everybody who hung out with us here on Twitch. Hang out with us again Friday and Saturday.
Follow Jerry on all platforms at Chido Jerry, CHIDOJERRY. Follow me on Twitter at 619 Sports. Follow me on Instagram at 619 Sports and Life. Don't bother on Facebook. I'll probably not accept your friend request. For Jerry Jimenez, I'm Craig Elston. Thanks to Three Punk Ales. Thanks to all of you for tuning in live to episode 100 of Soccers Overtime. We'll talk to you on Friday. Go Soccers!